Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're all doing good. We are live, looks like. Let me just share this with the Discord. This is a very short stream today because I have to go somewhere pretty quickly. But there we go. We should have, hopefully. Let me just get up the chats on the other computer. Don't need this. Don't need this. All right. Let's see what have we got then. Let's get the chat on Twitch. Because that usually is the quickest to respond. Not clips. Chat. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, Twitch is up. And... get the YouTube chat, which takes a little longer to load. Because for some reason it comes in top chat mode. I don't really understand that. But anyway, what are we doing today? Yes, I have been playing around a little bit with my library. Yesterday was so busy that I barely could get much done. Hello, Emmanuel, but I thought, despite us having basically probably about 2 hours to stream, if that, I thought it would go anyway. So what did we end up doing yesterday? So last time we streamed. Okay, so we spent a lot of time. Hi, bud. I'm trying to stream too. Good luck with your stream if you can get it working, bot. I really, yeah, it's all good if you can get it going. All right. So what did we end up doing last stream? So effectively, we spent. I think I mentioned this. 4 hours and 48 minutes just getting one library to compile and run and link. My goodness, that was a big struggle. So we finally got that working. I'm going to just turn this down just a touch. It's a bit loud on my end. I don't know if it's too loud for you guys. Stream app enabled. Yeah, Sunday stream too. That's the one. Just a short one. Well, yeah, good luck with your stream, but I wish you the best on how you end up going. I'm sure you'll absolutely crush it. Anyway, I'll have to check out the VOD as well. Anyway, so what did we end up doing? We ended up struggling for many hours to get this library working. We got it working in the end. And I was trying to get around this issue at the moment where I really want I think I used the wrong thing here, but effectively I want to have these in this library. We need to have a couple of properties set to enable things for like defines and stuff, and I don't think they're enabled at all. In fact, we don't even have includes by the looks of things. Okay, so this library has broken a bit since we've used it, but that's fine because we know what a baseline is. We know what we're up to. Good morning, good morning. S-A-T? Tree, even. How you doing, dude? The first streamer to watch another streamer, guys. Me. Hell yeah. Well, We'll check it out later, maybe. All right. Okay. So we have this library. It is not building at the moment because I've basically taken out a couple of defines, and yeah, we get this error, and this error is this API, and it's for some reason saying constant, which for some reason I don't quite understand, despite us having this here. So it is defined. It looks like. So this is what we're going to try and work on. We're going to probably make some extra notes. I've been making a lot of notes recently on VMA. That's what I did yesterday as well, off stream. I just did a lot of notes, cleaned some stuff up, you know, tried my best. I've been getting it back into maths because my maths skills are a bit weak. Not very weak actually. So I've been drilling that. So I probably won't do that on stream because it's going to be quite me just thinking to myself about how to manipulate symbols is probably not going to be the most interesting thing to put on screen. My UI code now works with Vulkan. Hell, wow, that's impressive. Nice work, dude. Yeah, getting even IM GUI working with Vulkan can be quite difficult if you've got a custom backend anyway. a bit of a faff anyway. So yeah, let's see. So this is defined as what? Because that's the confusing part. What is this defined as? So it's defined as this, but that's not it. This. It's saying this is constant, which is confusing because that's not what I set this to. Escape. I got 20 out of 20. I think I can do maths. Wow, well done, dude. That's an achievement. Brill. All that maths, assuming that you want to do game engine development, will pay you back in spades in the future. So yeah, keep up with it. Is it good Vulkan bug free? Oh, you can do your math. You can do my maths for me. Thank you. It is good. Is it good Vulkan bug free Vulkan code? Far from it. I see. Yes. I learned heavily on tutorials and LLMs. I just got some basic on stream. I want to understand it better eventually, but I'm glad something is showing. Yeah, that's it's always a challenge to just get the thing showing. I think there's a motto, isn't it? It's like make it work, make it better, make it perfect. I can't remember. There's like 3 steps that you can go through. And it looks like you've done the first one, which is often a lot of people miss, right? They try and make it perfect first. All right, so let's figure out this. So as far as I can tell, if I go into my CMake and remove this, and then I go into zlib, which I don't want to do this because the reason we did this yesterday on stream where I just defined it as nothing. This is messing with the actual internals of a library, which I don't want to do. That's why we're trying to avoid doing this. That's why things are broken again. But I want to make sure that, you know, assuming that I get it right and it defines as nothing, does it build properly? If it does, then we can probably... so it looks like none of this is working in the way that I want. Yeah, so we're still getting that DLL thing. So clearly we're missing something. Hey, look, see? Don't tell me we're working on the KTX thing. Hiya. We are... I'm trying to improve it. We got it working yesterday, last stream. So we're actually in this situation where we're on the second iteration now, right? That we did the first draft live, and then the second thing is like, all right, let's actually fucking crush it, bro. So we actually need... what? How do you do the CMake thing? A lot of this is just messing with CMake today, so... defines, right? I've forgotten what you do with this. It's like -D something. This is like super trivial if I get it right. Add defines. Is that right? It's -D something. Yeah, -D. Is there a target one? So I can add it to a particular thing, or -D, whatever I want. Add to define to compiler line target, the current directory. D something blah. Right, fantastic. Okay, so I just want to define it as nothing. So it looks like that's what we need to do. So that's the thing I was probably getting wrong here. So yeah, I just want to do it in the CMake rather than in the library code itself. So get rid of this. This is just -D. So equals blah, but we actually just want to define it as nothing. And that should be, hopefully, relevant to this project. I actually don't know how to set this up. Use this. Note this command is superseded by... right, okay, so... Add compiler definitions. Add it after 12. 1, 2, I don't know. Added a version of any leading D will be removed. Okay, so that's important to note. What CMake version do I actually have? I think I don't have the most up-to-date one. Let's have a look. 4.2. Okay, so we're pretty... Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to. I did that earlier, but it didn't seem to work. So maybe because I did have it here. Target. Ah, right. No, I didn't. I used the complete wrong function. Maybe that will do it. Right. Right. Let's give that a shot. Give that a reload, and hopefully, I don't know where this is going to live. Is it going to be living everything? I don't really mind because it's not like a big deal, but whatever. Now, do we see anything here? Where is this preprocessor, I think? Yes. Okay, so that's the... Fantastic. Okay, so Chronos, static. Now, if I build, we should see... Things just kind of work without that silly... I have a hard time understanding synchronization, don't we all? Synchronization is very difficult. Not what it is, but how it applied. Yeah, it's honestly quite annoying because when I use first in first out, I have more input latency than I expect. So I did it wrong. My DirectX code is much it's honestly one of the hardest parts of a one of the hardest parts of Vulkan. So yeah, it's tricky. It's very tricky. Yeah, unfortunately, this has put it everywhere. I would rather just this in one. Is there a way to say like, oh, just in this target rather than everything? Because this has put it in jolts as well. This is why it's taking a long time to build. Command also see this. Yeah. Why is that not turning up? So, okay. So interface, the keywords required, scope, private, and items. Okay, so I think the only thing I did wrong, actually. Right, let's stop the build. So we're going to go back to this. We're going to say KTX. I'm going to say public. I think that was my mistake. I'm just going to see if it exists only in one place, right? Because if it's everywhere, then it's like if I remove it, then it's going to make all the targets recompile. Sorry, every single project recompile when you just need it for one library. Which is, you know, not that I'll actually make it in that way, but let's have a look. So it hopefully should be here, and it shouldn't be in Jolt. Now, unfortunately, it's going to cause Jolt to recompile anyway, but that's fine. Yeah, okay, that's good. That's what I wanted, right? I only need it here. So yeah, let's just unfortunately have to wait for that. And maybe, can you write a list? I assume you can. So the next thing we need is the other define, which I've stuck in, let's just go back here. And I want to define, where is this? Did I... Yeah, so it's visible. Okay, it's not defined. It doesn't look like. Oh, no, wait. It looks like it is. I'll throw it in anyway, because we don't want this to try and make a library or anything like that. We just want to compile the actual C code. Is your particle system completed? Not yet. I've just kind of taken a break because I need to do other things. This was like something that's been on the... Alright, let's do that again. This, making the textures actually fast is something I've been needing to do for ages, and I thought I've been putting it off for long enough now. Let's just try and actually get this done. Because using STB image is making things like... It will break with scale. Okay, so... Right, okay, so that's there. That's why. Okay, so let's hopefully see that we don't get a silly... okay, good. That's immediately telling me that's not right. Yeah, it's redefined. Okay, so we want to get rid of this, and that's what I was looking for. I kind of missed it. So it's in C. All right. Why Why did this happen? This is the thing I don't quite understand. So what I'm going to do then is go into my CMake. Maybe make another one. Kind of make this private or something. I don't know. Like, it's possible that it only needs to be in one place and it's causing some issues. And if it is, I guess there's not much I can do. I don't really know how to solve this. And alright, so let's build this again. Just build this project this time. Nope, still the same issue. If I remove this, how does this behave? As far as I'm aware, this doesn't build without this define. Yeah, okay. Oh, I didn't regenerate. Escape, can you help me? It's saying unknown error occurred. Is that in C++? Or in CMake? Or something like that. What language is it, bot? Oh, it's already here. Sorry, let's get rid of this. Missed that. Let's do this again. Oh, in Streamlabs. I'm using OBS right now, but in Streamlabs, I can quickly do this real quick. If it's not working, you need to go in administrator mode. Make sure that's an administrator mode. So I'm not going to stream from this, but I've actually not uninstalled this yet. Otherwise it won't stream. Otherwise it can't stream. Fine. And if alright, right, well, let's build it. Let's just see if I can build my library now. Okay, I can build that. Let's just see if I can build. So maybe we don't need it. If we don't, that's fine. Unfortunately, like I said, okay, so if you want to do this, you can sign in on YouTube. Outside of that, just make sure that your YouTube, when you go to, I'm not going to click on this, but make sure when you go to stream, you've got your stream key set up for whatever platforms you're on. If you're multi-streaming, by the way, you can't multi-stream without paying for a thing on Streamlabs. Hence the transition to OBS. Hello, Ratchet. Hello, hello. So if that might be causing an issue for you. I don't know. We're just building at the moment. Cleaning up my library a bit. My KTX library. And then what we'll do is, actually we don't have the timer running. So again, this will be a shorter stream today, guys. I'm gonna have to meet my bro in. I'm gonna have to train with him again after this stream. I got him some protein powder, and I didn't know he didn't have a shaker cup, so I didn't get him a shaker cup for his protein powder. And he messaged me saying I had to use 2 whisks, and no, I had to use a fork and 2 whisks to get the right consistency. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to go back and get you a shaker cup. My goodness. So that means I've got to go to the shop the opposite direction and then walk all the way to his gym because he's not. We're not near each other. Oh dear. I mean, he's quite young, so he's still kind of like, you know, that kind of stuff kind of trips him up. I spent yesterday refactoring a bunch of stuff. Fun. Yeah, I'm refactoring right now, so that's what we're doing today. Yeah, so for anyone in chat, if now it's saying this server is all right, cool. How far did we get? Oh, actually, we got everything in. Right, so let's give this a run. So we didn't actually need that. That's the KTX logo working. That's the particles going particle-y. I have actually found that because of my transition, because I haven't handled my particle transitions properly, the world starts breaking up again. You can see here that there'll be this will start to degrade. This is very you only ever see this in Vulkan, where the model starts to break into pieces. You see there's like lines appearing. Hopefully you can see that. That gets really bad, and eventually you get the GPU crashes eventually. So this is something we're going to have to work on. It only really happens when you move the camera. And I think that's because I'm pushing the GPU pretty aggressively with 40,000 instances of a compute shader running. And I'm not transitioning the memory properly. So OBS time, I just typed in a website in the search bar of YouTube. I've never seen that around 200k objects. For me, I'm not entirely sure what you mean there, bot. How many objects do you have? I have 20,000. Sorry, I have 40,000 particles on the screen, but I'm not transitioning. I realized I've made a mistake with the particles. I'm not transitioning the memory. So what I'm going to do, just real quick, just to make sure everything's actually correct. Yeah, undefined behavior means undefined. Yeah. So we've got some undefined behavior that the validation layers haven't picked up, which we might end up trying to fix today. But I'm gonna try. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna regenerate the project from scratch, just so I make sure that the actual libraries are legit. What's your draw call count? That should be around 8 or so. More news at 11. Exactly. Yeah, so I'll show you what I mean once I've regenerated the project. Unfortunately, this is going to cause a rebuild, but I kind of want to make sure that everything's clean and there's no. So when I push this to Linux, we actually get some something that actually does work off rip without any issue, right? So yeah, just give us a second for a compile. Well, actually, while that's compiling, I'll show you what I mean. So in the graphics, we have a particle renderer here. I've kind of removed an error because I was demonstrating this thing. But you'll notice in my pipeline barriers, I have the source mask, access mask, destination, sorry, source stage, source access, destination stage, and destination access mask. And you think, oh, that's very nice. You've got everything set up, and I've been very careful and made sure this is correct. And I haven't changed the memory layout. All I've done is I've set up the memory barriers and the pipeline stage barriers, but I haven't actually set up the transition of memory barriers. So what I think's happening here is I'm pushing the GPU quite aggressively, but we're in undefined the whole time. Now, I don't know how NVIDIA drivers work. I've been told that everything goes to general, right? But this breaks down more when I'm going faster, right? So if I spam more particles in the particle shader, and I really turn that like up, make it super aggressive, we get things breaking down faster. And I think it's purely if I well, wait for it to compile first. But what we can do is we can see if that is actually the case by just removing the particles from the scene. And I think we shouldn't see any of that splitting thing happening. Which we'll do after it compiles. But yeah, generally speaking, there's what is it? We need these are not where is it? So there's the stages. Where's the actual pipeline barrier change? Yeah, there's something I've missed, basically. That's it. This. Yeah, old layout, new layout. Oh, that's for image barriers, actually. I'm actually just tripping up here. This is only for images. Hang on, what are these, then? Yeah, these can be blah, 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 blah. Yeah, if they're only images, actually. Am I doing an image barrier or a buffer? Yeah, I think I might be wrong here actually. Something's wrong though. Something's wrong with this. But let's Hi 214. Thank you for joining us. Oh, Angela Kitty on the Twitch chat. So I'm just gonna make sure this just runs. Yes, okay. So the KTX library has been fully integrated without any modifications to, as far as I'm aware anyway, the actual library code itself, which I don't obviously want to do because that breaks everything. Let's just make sure for 100% certain that we don't have a bloody define in here that I've put in, which I don't think I have. Just give me a moment. It's around here I typically put it in the past. I think it's already kind of worked out based on its if defs. It's funny, I had a guy at work who said if defs should never be in your code because you've made your code if def dependent rather than I've never seen that. That was in the C++ Gotcha book actually. And so what he did is he made sure he generated CMake code that would like generate different CPP and H files based on the platform that you're on at generation time. Buffers don't have a layer. I think you're right there. Let me but there's something wrong with the particles, I think. Well, something wrong with something, right? And it gets worse with more particles on the screen being really quick. Yeah, I think I'm okay. I don't think there's anything here. I didn't see it anyway. So anyway, yes, you were right there, Ratchet. So actually, that was wrong. That was a bad assumption. I must have been tired when I wrote that, but there we go. Right, so that's good. I think we need the KTX license as well. Let me grab that in the... what I'm talking about here is because my stuff is open source. I need to make sure that everything else I'm using kind of has the right license. Which I can't imagine this is not open source, so I just need the license.md. License for this thing is what? Apache 2. Alright, so I'm just gonna steal this and just kind of make let's get the raw version. Me when I make my if defs are CMake options instead. Yeah, it's wow, yeah, exactly. It was pretty intense. So because I'm only doing this because I'm compiling this library in my source tree as you might be because I have the Jolt license here. You know, I don't want to be confused that I'm so KTX license that I've written this code, you know. So yeah, I'll just throw it in here. Alright, cool. That's the KTX license done. What I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna commit this. Yeah, just because we got the library done, and it's officially in a way that like makes sense. It's not like ugly as fuck. So, yeah. So, does this exist? That shouldn't exist. Yes. Okay. Right. So, git rm rf vendor KTX Y. Alright, so we get the full path, I guess. I don't really know why it's not working, but hey. I'm not doing backslashes. I don't really care, I just want it gone. I don't want you to track it, Git, so you don't get confused. I mean, Git's got better recently. It's not like it used to, where if you did this, it would mess everything up completely. Back when I was trying to do it on older computers. If this doesn't work, I'll just delete it as is. No, okay. Whatever. It's gone now. Right. Cool. There's a new file. We've updated a bunch of stuff. CMaker's been modified. Okay, so add. Yep, so it's all that. Gubbins. And this is unfortunate because I can't really include this. I don't really care about it changing the line endings. It doesn't really matter to me. This is so we can just hot replace this code later on. I tried to do this with submodules, guys. I know you're thinking like, why are you adding it just raw? But yeah, submodules just didn't work. The project was completely different from its actual release. So yeah, it was okay. So this is going to make my project look a lot bigger, I guess. But despite having written none of this code, okay. So added the KTX library. I mean, maybe I could put it out, but I want to make it work on Linux, so it's kind of awkward otherwise. Low-key skill issue. I think I probably could get it with a submodule now, but I would have to it would take another round of effort, which I don't really care as long as it works. Anyway, we could delete a lot of this, but again, I'm just gonna overwrite this directory when a new update comes, and we'll just deal with it. I think I've done pretty well setting up this library anyway. Outside of that, considering how messy this library is, there's a lot of I'm not complaining. I'm just stating facts here. But I had to make a lot of external, a lot of includes to get this library working because there was a lot of different things that needed including. In fact, we can get rid of this and kind of re-add because I noticed that just then. This is why it took so long yesterday. Well, last time we streamed anyway. Alright, so added the KTX library. Oops. Last time I did it, there was a couple of options and one add subdirectory. Yeah, maybe that was the I don't know. I tried to add a submodule and it kind of added every single thing under the sun. Maybe I should have looked into the configuration options. Regardless, it's done. We don't need to worry about it now. If we can improve it, I will come back to it. But I want to focus more on the C++ today rather than CMake. But anyway, added the KTX library to our project. I think, like I said at the beginning of the stream, make it work first, then make it perfect, So yes, fingers crossed I don't get told off by GitHub. You can't upload this much files at once or something. Because that will be annoying. Alright, so can I push you up to the internet or not? I know it doesn't let you push a certain size. But we'll see. Yeah, it's a lot of little files, which is I think good. Jeez, really, that was 1%. How big is this folder? And how big is everything else in comparison? Okay, yeah. Okay, so it's roughly increased it to 2 gigs. Obviously, we got some stuff in here. A far cry from SDB image, which is 277 kilobytes. My goodness, I love that library. And we're not going to use it, which is sad, but there we are. We need universal block compression and all that kind of gubbins, so we can't handle. So I'll just wait for this to be done. Yeah, I was just making sure. I think we can upload that much. This is also why I don't upload assets, by the way, because assets can very quickly balloon into like a massive things. So VK load texture. I wish. Honestly, I just love the SDB library so much. It's one of my favorite libraries. And the fact that we're not using it anymore is kind of bittersweet. Yeah, it is what it is. It's just so good. You want to load an image, you just slap that in and say load image. It literally is VK load image load texture, you know. But anyway, is that up? Is it let me do this yet? Hi Grieve, how you doing? Yeah, not bad. Yep. Just doing a quick little stream today. I don't know how long I'll be able to stream for, but we'll try and get as much as we can done with our texture loading stuff. We'll try and stabilize the code perhaps as well. I'm just waiting for this to write so I can actually deal with the issue. I know this is a bit redundant. In fact, I really am not coding right now, so I'm just gonna pause that. But I do want to sit here and kind of wait for it. And it's a bit boring, but oh man, I did not get a good night's sleep tonight again. I don't know what it is recently. I've been waking up at the middle of the night and that's it. I'm just up. It's super boomer old man behavior. I'm waking up like, oh, I need to think about this thing for hours. So I woke up when it was dark out, and then my alarm went off, and I hadn't gone to sleep yet, and I was like, oh no. Well, there we go. All right, let's actually. I'm getting bored of waiting for that, so I'm just going to start looking around for stuff. All right, so let's start turning on our validation again, because I think we've been halfway between validation being on and off, so I think we were doing some render doc stuff. Okay, give this a build. That won't take too long. In fact, because we're now coding again. Reload. I don't know why we need to reload, but hey. Hopefully we get a validation error. That'd be lovely, actually. So we get a warning, but both of these warnings are... For some reason, these are turned on, which I don't know why, but... I haven't turned these on, and we're also using a GPU that supports all these things, and I don't really know... Oh, it's validation layers. Yeah, the ray tracing validation is not enabled. Okay. I think we looked at this earlier, didn't we? Let's not forget that. Okay, let's see my game engine with coronavirus. Oops. Yes, it doesn't like looking at the center of that. We should actually reload the dock again, actually, as well. So that's a seam. That's not necessarily an issue. That's just a modeling issue. Yeah, I've kind of look at this. I don't know why this is scaled as well. The other one, there's like a green one here, which is tiny. Yeah, you can see it just there at the bottom. And for some reason, no, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't do anything. Feel like you're ignoring how much more stuff KTX can do compared to STB image. A ton of different applications and libraries in one big project. Out of everything, I only use libkdx. Yeah. I'm using it for a reason. I am aware. I'm not. I'm saying it's bittersweet because I just like the library. It's just like I just like how simple it is. That's all. All right. So I don't think that did anything, and it might be just a release issue. We might because we're slower actually. Are you allowing me to write? Yes. Okay. Cool. Okay, that is uploaded. Right. Yes. Okay. There is KTX. Post heatwave fatigue. Yeah. Hi, Rush. Yeah. It's I hate heat waves. You have a 4070. Yes. I had to buy that. I bought that literally because I wanted to use mesh shading. So yeah, I have a decent graphics card. Well, I don't know if some people have different opinions on what's a good graphics card or not. So I don't know what you would say as good or bad. In fact, I'll show you my whole specs. I don't have this command set up in can I just spam this? I need to get into Nightbot and get this in. Hello. This is everything. Oh, I can't actually post that. Let me just do this for the Twitch chat. So the Twitch chatteroonies can see. There you go. So that's my specs anyway. Oh. There you go. So that's my specs anyway. Oh. Sorry about that. I could hear myself speak, so I had to like had to shut myself up there. Okay. Anyway, let's dive into this a bit more. Now we've done that, which is the first task of the day, which was not stabilizing, like getting the library working in a way where I don't modify the actual library code. Second is we have one texture done. Next, we need to deal with this, I think. Now, KTX library, I hope, can do universal. Let's see. Okay, so what I'm going to try is I'm going to run GLTF pack. The GPU is faulty, perhaps. All the KTX has to do is put block compressed blobs into a big bag, and everything else is inconsequential. Yeah, there's an additional layer that I'm looking for here. I'm trying to get GLTF pack working on my code as well. Wherever I've put that, actually don't know. Is it my downloads? Have I just left it there? Which, when you, yeah, let me actually get up the documentation so I can actually look at this again. It improves rendering speed by optimizing your libraries. Written by the great, maybe it's a bit exaggeration, but written by the legendary. Screw it, legendary, great, awesome, best coder ever. I say that almost unironically. Arseny Kapulkin. Yeah, I'm like 99% sincere with that. Okay, so what we're gonna do is trying to get this to run. That's the one. Yeah, Zix. I don't know how you say his name. His GitHub name. Geometry is okay. So yes, what do I want to do here? I want to see it compresses the codecs. You need mesh op compression, so that's for the mesh optimizer version, which we might do. CC is additional compression. That's the if you have gzip, that does a gzip as well. GLTF path also compresses textures to store in this container. This is literally the reason why we have this library, because of this sentence here. TC flag requires support for texture. All right, so I'm not entirely sure if this is the universal what is it called, basis super compression. So we might just do KTX2 and then maybe try and do this afterwards. So yeah, I think the first thing we're going to try and do is load in ducks first, and then probably attack the ducks. I think the ducks are going to be the simplest. There's not going to be any difference between them. The spec stuff is still terrible. Are you talking about that thing we just looked at earlier? I'm using a 3090. Wow, that's a cool one. I think my graphics card's on par with that one, actually. It's very close. The 3090, considering it's a 90 graphics card, has way more legs in it. Right, okay, so, yeah, let's actually download GLTF pack. I don't know where I've put it. Okay, so. Alright, let's get the new one. And hopefully, we can start being a serious game developer. It almost feels like. I just love how it's just an XE as well. Nothing. Sorry, I'm glazing a bit now. But I love the fact that it's just, I'm just going to stick it here, I think. Not inside a... And maybe we'll have like a... I don't know. I'll figure it out in a minute. So the next thing I want to do is go into my code and... 12 Gibbs. That's it. 214. Yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, 214 has given me a more up to date. That's why he's saying subs. I understand now. Right. Okay. So no, it's in scene. So go to our scene code. And we should get rid of this and put duck back. So we do have our ducks back in the game, to great applause from all you guys. Well, myself included. Gotta have ducks in the game. The second one is, oh yeah, for the different types of compression. I don't know what actually WebP is, but right. So we have the duck. I'm also just going to turn off the particles because they're a bit too aggressive right now. I need a way to improve them. So what I'm trying to do here is get into game, and we're just going to turn off the particles so we don't actually stare at that duck and make sure the things are good without any glitchiness, because we haven't figured out, because we haven't solved everything yet. With the particles, I mean, the particles are particling, but it's like the worst version of the particles. Where is it? Particle. So we're just going to get rid of this and this, and then obviously go down here. WebP is like PNG, but but better compression and worse supported. I see. Okay, thank you for that. Actually, I have seen them online. Actually, now you mention it, I have. The only things that seem to be able to open it are web browsers for some reason. But actually, that's good to know about that WebP. So I understand that it's not as supported. So now we should see, hopefully. Google made it. Got you. Okay, yeah. So we should see a dock kind of just staying in the middle of the game. Very nice. And if we zoom out, we can just move our extremely bright torch away. And we should see this guy. Now, again, this is not going to be... we're not going to see any performance gain, I don't think, from this, because it's such a simple model. But it's going to be the beginning of moving to KTX. So, you know, for actual models. That's why I wanted to pick, like, a simpler model, right? So, where should I put this, actually? So, I'm going to put this in, like, a... I don't know where to put... It's not really a Git thing, so I'm going to move this out, actually. GLTF pack. And we're going to cut this in here. Yeah, I should be a little bit consistent, to be honest. Alright, cut. And yeah, we're just going to throw it in documents for now. And just so I can find it for later. Okay, next I need to get into my project and get the duck out. And I'm going to... Where is it? This would be in source, assets, models, out. I'll do duck and rock for now because they're two relatively simple models. All right, cool. Right, so GL in. I'm going to do doc first. And then out. So we're just going to do KTX. Hopefully this is just going to be regular compression so we don't have to do anything fancy. Is that right? Oh, it's overwritten it. Whoops. Let me do that again. That's fine. I just kind of call it something else and then move it or something. And then it's a bit awkward. All right, now let's go back. The way around. Let's call this opt, OP, kind of like optimization, right? And I'm just gonna get the other duck in so I can compare them side by side. Yeah, I didn't mean to override the original. So if I go into source, application, no, assets, that's the one. Models, out. And let's not do that again. So I don't know if it's got any smaller. Yeah, okay, so it has got smaller. That's actually good to know. Copy. So it looks like it's half the size of it, which is really impressive considering the size of the object. That's really cool, actually. Half the size of 167K kilobytes is massive. That's a huge compression. You know, because there's not as much to compress, right? Hi, Dead Tree. Good to see you, my man. Do you generate MIP maps at runtime? You won't be able to do so for Gluck. Ah, okay. Yes, I do, actually. Well, I don't think I've been here this early. Long time no see. Yeah, Escape and Ratchet. Yeah, good to see you, my man. Yeah, textures today. Interesting. So we can't make MIP maps from this. How do you make MIPs? From KTX files that are in a model then? That's the question I need to answer. Let's see. Let me think for a moment. I should mute myself. Okay, just checking the follow account. I just wondered if we got to 25 yet. I don't know if it'll let me know on the stream, but there we are. KTX 210 to include mip maps. Ah, okay. Maybe I missed that in the documentation. Okay, cool. So I guess we need to be careful then how we pull these out. Yeah, this is why I wanted to. Okay, so let's throw this in. I'm not going to remove SDB image yet, but I'm going to start writing another function. It's going to do the KTX version, and then hopefully we can get out the MIP maps and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, assets. But I am impressed that that compressed by that much. That is very impressive. Yeah, because that is much smaller. So yeah, OP, and then right, that should be there. I've also got to put it in. This is so when I regenerate the project, we don't end up losing it. And models, and out, and here, and I need to delete most of these things. Okay. Close, 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 close. Fantastic. Right. Okay. So when we load this model in on our GLTF loader, we have a issue. Our texture loading stuff needs to be handled differently depending on the model type. What I might do is just send in a lazy boolean right now and then eventually remove it, because we're going to move to this completely, but I want to make sure that we do it with the simplest model first. Here we go. Okay, so this is the GLTF version, and so we just hard code this in actually. So I might, yeah. So I'm going to send in a lazy boolean for now, just so I can do an if statement here and just kind of not break everything else. Only worry about one model at a time. So rebuilding into your own format is such a rabbit hole. I'm totally Not guilty of doing that, totally. Yeah, I'm trying to follow what I would assume is like good practice by using a library that kind of generally don't look at me. Yeah, I'm looking at both of you actually. What I'm trying to do anyway is I'm not trying to dive too head first into this world. I'm trying to basically get what would be considered not a noob setup, if that makes sense, right? So I'm trying to follow something that's like makes sense, which is like, okay, yeah, GLTF pack is probably a really good idea, but I'm not going to try and do anything more advanced than that. Like, you know, put everything in like another format on top of that, so an extra layer of indirection, so I can avoid people messing with the assets or something. Outside of that, I'm just going to you know, run GLTF pack and all that kind of stuff. So noob equals PNG. That's what it feels like, to be fair. I'm not going to lie. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of what we're doing it right now. Yeah, pro, exactly. Exclusively, that is the two levels of programming: new PNG, pro KTX2. All right, so I don't know what to call this. KTX2, perhaps on. So I'm gonna say it's like default this to false. Yeah, this is so we don't mess anything else up. Again, we're going to be improving on this. So this library is going to get a lot bigger. Just on this alone, which is fine by me. Sorry, this function I meant to say. So if we're going to just say false, just so I can have. Alright, so if this is false, which I like to be very explicit about because I like to be able to read it very easily, then we do the regular stuff. Else, we do the KTX stuff, right? So we already have a KTX library. Excuse me. We already have a, what is it called? KTX blah-de-blah thing. In here, so we're going to grab that out and kind of follow the pattern that I've kind of learned, but we might have to do a bit more work because we need to get the MIPS out, which is different from what we did earlier. We haven't actually got the MIPS out before. Mippy mappies. So let's see, Vulkan create texture, right? I think it's here. In fact, I actually don't know. I think it's all the same actually. Where have I done? I've done this in a 2D renderer, maybe? Where have I done the KTX stuff? Yeah, okay, so we set the MIP levels to 1. Where is it actually set? Yeah, okay, so that's just 1. This is never used. Alright. So this is the general idea that we're going to try and do. I'm going to ignore the format for now. In fact, let's throw the format in. It's going to change things a little bit. Oh, we're actually not deleting the file. I'm sure there's a destroy, right? Let me just, this is something I didn't do last time. Yeah, okay, so let's destroy this at the shutdown code. So we don't have a memory leak in the 2D renderer. Hello, Ratcha, I'm a noob. I'm a noob too. You can join in. Yeah, I was getting mildly yelled at in the DMs for. Basically, someone was calling me a noob, which is quite funny. Right. Okay. So yeah. So we're all noobs today. All right. So that we shouldn't have anything different now. We shall see. Escape instead of hacking an old code path by. Let me just check something real quick. And interesting. you didn't like that? Alright, we'll go with unorm for now. Why would you be allowed the maximum image width? Okay, so I don't really know why it's in that format, but I'm just going to say maybe that's just me not setting up the file properly. It should be unorm anyway, so I think for now I'm going to say there's something with what I've done wrong. It's not the actual library. So maybe I'll add like a to-do here. Yeah, I'll respond to what you said in a minute, Ratcha. I'll just fix this issue, or at least give myself a to-do. Make be a unorm, not SDR, not linear. RGB, what am I saying? RGB, there we go. For now. So we have Vulkan format. Let's do caps here. R8, G8, B8, A8. You know. Alright. It just works. I don't know. Let's see. I'll show you. Escape. Instead of hacking an old code path, why not make a different code path? Oh yeah, right. Hang on. What's going on? I think I made a mistake here. Let's go back. I thought it was something to do with it is, but it isn't. Okay, we're gonna have to unfortunately remove that. What have I missed here? Oh right. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I made a big mistake again. I've made the same mistake as I did last time. You're right. You're right. You're right. Sorry, guys. Me being dumb. I forgot I need to set these variables. I did this last time where I didn't set the variables and it kind of broke everything. I'm glad the validation layer is called that, actually. The program is sentient. Okay, cool. There we go. It's a bit dark, but that's fine. Everything's fine. Cool. The reason I'm doing a hacky second code path, we're going to remove the first code path eventually. When you sample, there's an automatic conversion to linear. Duck, indeed. We got the duck back. Thanks for that. There's something I've done extra wrong. I think I've maybe converted twice, or I don't know what exactly where, but it's too dark for and I'll fix it in a minute. For now, I just want to get this GLTF pack thing kind of working a bit. There's like, but yeah, yell at me in the if you see me consistently ignoring it, just continue to yell at me, and I'll get it fixed. It's not like you'll only keep the old path. Okay. YouTube is doing that thing where it stops showing me messages. What you need to do, Detri, if you haven't already, I don't know why YouTube chat has this setting, but instead of it being, if you look at the top of the chat, instead of it saying top chat, if you change it to live chat, you'll see everything. I don't know why that's not the default. I have to do it every single time because it does actually remove some messages from me as well. But I always have it in live chat. You could be right, actually, yeah. So I assume we want to get rid of it, but anyway, so let's remember the additional thing that we needed to do here, which was the KTX delete. Oh dear, my laptop's dying. Give me a second, gang. My chair is rolled on the laptop charger. You know how it is with Wise. Okay, that's sorted out. It's been doing it on live chat for me now too. I blame Better TTV. Should probably. Oh, okay. I'm unfamiliar with that extension. Well, at least, yeah. For anyone else who doesn't know, yeah, please, on the YouTube chat side, if you want to see all the messages, including some of the crazy messages that we sometimes get from I'm just going to say it, schizophrenics. That does happen from time to time. You will you'll have to change to live chat. Who knows? Maybe I'm hallucinating everything and I'm just straight up super schizophrenic right now. What was it called? Yeah, I feel like Twitch chat, despite it moving a lot slower, is generally we get less schizophrenics, which I think it's a good. I don't know if it's good or bad that. What is it called? I just got the library name wrong, I think. Oh, it's just destroy. Okay. Okie dokie. Okay, texture. Alright, cool. I have 5 images loaded. You have 5 images loaded as path. STB for SDR, STB image for HDR, open XR, open EXR for EXR and KTX2, and then .cache for your custom one. I swear I'm not a schizophrenic law. Basis universal includes time. I actually don't know about EXR. Sorry. Yeah. So if we're gonna have more than one code path, maybe yeah, I'll organize my code a little bit better. I'm not gonna worry too much about it yet. But yes, maybe we do want standard images. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet, like what we want to do formally, but I just definitely know that we need KTX for this particular thing. Anyway, right, let's get the code in that we actually needed, which was this fella. So we're going to assume that the data is actually in the file, because that's going to be kind of difficult otherwise. Where were we? Here, right? Okay. Right, so we need to kind of figure out exactly what we need to do here. So it generates the MIP maps on the fly, but I wonder if we can get the MIPs out straight out the... Right, so we need the includes, which is pretty straightforward. KTX and include KTX. What is it called? I can't remember. Oh, is it KTX Vulkan actually? I don't think so. Oh, it was. Okay, fantastic. Right, so we should have most of that dealt with. Now we just need to kind of combine our ideas together. And yep, so I'm just going to kind of hodgepodge this a little bit. Yeah. Right, so when we set this up, we need to kind of, so I need to work backwards here. So we need to have this kind of here, right? Let's have a look. So get rid of this. Fantastic. So blah, 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 blah. We have MIP levels. We have this. We don't need this. Actually, image data. Yeah, we can get rid of that. Image URI. So this needs to be here instead. Any other differences that we need to keep? Maybe I should initialize that, but it doesn't really matter. I hate OpenXEXR. I wish I could not use it. What is OpenXER even for? Huh, I'm working. It's working so far for me. I'm glad it's working for you, dude. On Detry codes. Right. So now we need to kind of rob the next part of this. Oh, I didn't add. Okay. I'll leave the freeing of memory for a minute. It's kind of a little harder to get right. So, right. So the MIP levels, but actually we need this first. Image URI, and it looks like, yeah, I need to surround this in. Everything in this. Yep. So That's fine. Let's get rid of this for now because that's just going to cause some issues. And we need the outer for loop, which is for GLBs. We need to go through each for our library anyway. Fantastic. So we should have that at least. We don't need this. This doesn't make any sense. I hope that the textures make sense. We don't need SDB. That's literally why we did this. So we can go to that. The generate maps on the fly. We'll come back to that. I think that's just actually calculating the map, so I'm actually not that worried about this. Yeah, let's kind of pull this out. So this is the size, and I don't generally know. So EXR is the standard format for high dynamic range images escape point. Oh, okay. My HDR, I thought I would start HDR, but I didn't know. Good to know, good to know. Yeah, I was just reading extra stuff that you guys were saying. So this needs to be in here as well. What is this song? Oh, right, yeah, it's the one we added. The new one. Right, how are you dealing with this, sir? You are... I think we can just generate this in the scope, right? Since we are... Okay, so KTX to... sorry. Let's turn this down a bit. I didn't realize I turned it up that much. There we go. Right, what's the library called? The thing that we actually need to do. HDR is another one, but it's low quality. It's shared components. I see, I see. Right, that's good to know, actually. Thank you for that, Ratchet. I might make notes on that, actually. Let's just write that down so I don't forget it. Yeah, because learnopengl.com I think just talks about HDR, but I didn't know that stream stuff. Okay, so did we make this note that Ethan told us? I can't remember. No, we didn't. Okay, can I just quickly do this? This is actually quite important. If I haven't done this. I have a note that's floating around that's just kind of not connected to anything. So we've got profiler, we've got the roadmap. Yeah, just bear with me just a touch. Okay, so that's connected to the light transport equation. I think there's some notes flying around here that's just not connected to... No, okay. Okay, maybe I did. Let me just check. Let me just check. This is important, though. I need to make sure I don't ever forget that. Okie dokie. If I go to Vulkan, indexes... No, graphics theory. Because this is important to figure out the differences between BRDF and BSDF. There's a big difference between them. It's a subtle difference, but there is a big difference. BSDF has a different integrant versus BRDF. No, different. No, it's a complete. It has a different integral. It's affected differently. I don't think I've actually written the notes. So, where did I put this? It was like an incomplete one. Yeah, so I'm gonna throw this in here. Yeah, so that's the yeah, so I'm gonna delete all this actually. Alright. And I'm gonna rename this to differences between BRDF and BSDF. I don't really, yeah, no, it's more like BRDF and BSDF. It is something like that. I think that's okay. But it's kind of like both things together. If you don't know, the BSDF is this function here, which is part of the integrand, right? If you notice the subtle difference here, is this integral is s squared, and this is the BRDF version. You can see the this has got the Cook Torrance BRDF in here, which kind of expanded a bit for the both diffuse, the Lambert diffuse, the very basic one, and the specular Cook Torrance approximation. Have you noticed it's an omega, right? Now, this means that this is over a hemisphere. This is integrated over a hemisphere, and this is integrating over a full sphere, meaning that the absolute value of the cosine is actually considered here, whereas when we do this, we actually just consider the dot product between the normal and the light coming in, meaning that these are actually much different. These are actually harder to calculate. This second one is much easier to calculate than this one. Now, the reason is because we got a bidirectional scattering distribution function. This simulates closer to, this does closer to subsurface scattering light calculations as well, without any approximation. Well, with less approximation. It's still not complete. The full complete one is the, sorry, this is the BSDF, stands for bidirectional scattering distribution function. Let me just turn this down just a touch. And then you got the BSSDF, which is even harder to calculate, computationally wise, which is the BS subsurface scattering distribution function, right? So be aware, if you've ever learned offline ray tracing, that you're doing this one and this one. These are different, and the only and this here is not that interesting. This extra function here. This is just emitted stuff, like, so this would be a light bulb or something, right? Whereas we're not doing that, right? We're just we're assuming that we're just doing indirect lighting, I think, right? But anyway, good thing to know, that when you actually learn this stuff, there is a subtle difference here. I think it's quite useful. So that's what yeah, Ethan in the chat, in the YouTube chat, was like telling me off for doing this cosine absolute value, and then we both realized that we were integrating over a sphere, not a hemisphere, and then that made everything kind of make sense in my head. So and if you can think about the cosine goes from 0 goes from 1 to -1, right? There's the max values, and that's why we care about the -1 as well, because that's the subsurface scattering stuff. Anyway, fun stuff. Okay, Ratchet, though, has told me other stuff, which we kind of need to worry about. I think this was TT telling me something as well. Right. So hopefully that was interesting. I know it was for me when I found that out. So let's put a Ratchet in. Good old Ratchet has been here multiple times. Look at you. Okay, so .exe, what is it? XCR? XCR formats. Are harder to load because of the libraries, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong here. But they are the HDR textures, images, I guess, of similar to .hdr, but higher quality. Meaning, if you want to have the highest quality HDR image for your IBL stuff, you're gonna have to use .x. I think that's right, XCR. Some of these nuts, yeah. Let me just make sure I got everything right here, because you guys are talking about something else. I'm just going to scroll up just a touch. Yeah, it is XCR. Okay. It's possible that tiny XCR is unstable / slow, but on verified. Cool. Because we didn't profile that, did we? So we'll just put that there. Thank you for that piece of information, gang. Yeah, that was me being daft. I was forgetting this, so I don't really know what to put this, to be honest. If you have variable, yeah, that basically in my shader I had like a fixed time step that would and every time the frames increased, it would be, you know what happens with fixed time steps, I assume. Right. Okay. So we got that written. I just don't know where to put that in the notes. Let's keep on going. I won't be able to stream for much longer, but we can get as much done as we can. All right. So don't think we need this. We do need. Okay, for these, this needs to be moved. Oh, okay, so that doesn't exist. What I'm going to do then is very simply take these. No, I'll just take this. Maybe we won't support MIPS yet. I just want to see if this works. So what I'm going to do is just set this to 1. So then, yeah, we need K texture. Yeah, use a band, Harley, so you're saying. Seminal reading law. I did not realize the words had a second definition. Gross. Not sure what you're referring to, but yeah, I probably misread stuff. That's no, I'm notorious for like half reading something and I'm being like, yeah, I get it, and then not understanding exactly what you said at all. So yeah, yeah, bad streamer. They're not listening. Right, so we're just gonna put. Oh, you're on a ghost, thanks. Right. Yeah, that was it. Okay, so I'm a bit new to this library, so I might be a bit slower than you guys would be. Right, so this goes here, and KTX is here. He's queer. We love him. Right, okay. Don't know why I said that. Right, okay, so in theory, that's as much as we need to do. Right, okay. MIPS, we're not going to do any MIPS yet. We'll come back to that. So it looks like, as far as I can see, if I try to load our fella, where is he? Our duck guy. Where is he seen? True. KTX professional texture person, yeah. Alright, so we should be hitting this. I'm just going to put a breakpoint in to make sure everything's kind of working-ish, right? KDX2, right. Nice. Let's see. Okay, so we get an image from our image resources. Okay, great. So apparently, why is our URI not working? Have I got the wrong one? Oh, I have. Oops. Yes. Sorry, being stupid. So to oof, okay. Yeah, so load from memory, we need this. We need to do something slightly different. Alright, so of course, let's see, do I have a... No, this is just going to be equally as difficult. Not load from file path, but load from... Is there memory? Or something? Alright, it's just... Yeah, okay, create from memory. Fantastic. Look at that. Okay, so this is what we should be doing. I've loaded this file like it's a GLTF file. Not... sorry, I've loaded this model like it's a GLTF model. That's actually what it needs to be, and now we need to figure out how to do this. Okay, so we can be inspired. So I copied the wrong thing. So it's the raw bytes. Why did I do it like that? Oh yeah, because the images could be offset. So that actually gets the image offset into the actual thing that we care about based on the image. And what else do you need? KTX size, yes, we can get the size out, which is this. And then the flags, and then everything else is good. All right. We'll see how that goes. Right. Good job at a breakpoint now. Looks like KTX2 copies the memory so it can own it. You might be able to free your copy after calling create. Yeah, I'm hoping that I can. For now, I'm just going to be allowing memory to leak. Eventually, I'll obviously clean that up, but I want to make sure that we're doing... Oh, I've done it again. Hang on, sorry. So what have I done here that's different? Okay, so I need to get rid of that URI thing. In fact, I can probably check a different way. No, I think... Yeah, I would have to go through the buffer view. Alright, forget that. We'll just copy what we did. If an image is apparently existing, then... Right, one step at a time. We love memory leaks for the sake of convenience, indeed. Alright, so here we go. One MIP level. We have that data. It's PNG, though. Why are you PNG? Alright, so this is just not going to work. It's going to say, I don't know what this format was. Brother, I don't think I've changed the file. I don't think I've changed the file. Okay, admittedly, that's just me being dumb. I have the old... Where's the scene code? I forgot to do this. So this is the optimized one, right? Let's try that again. Once more with feeling. No, it's just, yeah, like I said, me being dumb. I haven't even loaded the right one. Alright, so... It's PNG again. Did it load? What file are we loading in? No, it is okay. Oh, no, no, it is. Okay, let's, Right, let's, okay. Still didn't work. But that's fine. That's why we have a breakpoint. I didn't expect it to work first time. That'd be very strange if it did. Right, okay, so what I'm thinking then is I need to do .-tc. I didn't realize I needed to do that. I thought it would be default, but I guess not. If I look at the documentation again. Right, let's see. I'm slightly sleep deprived. I'm not usually up at 6:30. Sorry if I'm loopy / schizophrenic. Lamau. Well, we're used to that, so it's fine. Yeah. Get to join the other random schizophrenics that we get from time to time. No, it's chill. You're completely fine. You can chat as much as you like. It's a pleasure to see you, to be honest. Right. Yeah, so GLTF pack also compresses this, I assume. But that does the basis texture thingy. I assume it was default, to be honest. Yeah, so if it's just a PNG, let's just check, right? I don't know what the difference is if I do this, so if I go to here, so we're just going to say, we're just going to make a new GLTF pack, and then we're going to say TC, and then import, we're just going to take the frame doc. Nope, that's definitely not what we definitely don't want to touch that file. GLB. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so what do we get here? Oh, I've overwritten it again. Right, whatever. JavaScript, shield me. Shield you from mod. Builds. Can we get this done? Right, paste. To go into the... Well, yeah, that file is extra optimized. Yeah, indeed, it's really impressive, the texture. Sorry, the amount of compression that's going on. It's pretty OP, I think. Especially because it's just going to help me distribute this file. Do you like Java? Java's fine. I don't really have any opinion on it, to be honest. It's my first programming language, so I can't say that I dislike it. Based on that alone, basically. Yeah, a lot of my very earliest programs were Java. Where is the bloody... There we go. 2, and let's go in here. I have a bad feeling, though, that this is just not going to be able to decompress this file without extra work. Alright, so let's see. Is it a KTX file yet? Yeah, finally. So that is a KTX file. It is successfully loaded. It has height and width. And here's the big, if I'm going to press F10. Yeah. Ooh, undefined, interesting. Why is it undefined? Interesting, so the format is undefined. So this is a, we might have to do more work here. So, KTX, so no, VK format. F, I'll just say F for now, it doesn't really matter. Let's just see what format we're in. Undefined. Okay, so there might be some extra work we have to do. Considering this is loaded from memory, as far as I'm aware. It loaded it correctly. It's not stressed out. We could just fake it and say it's unorm or something, or standard. VK. Right, again, this is probably not going to work, but I'm kind of curious to see whether do we need to do extra work, or is it just failing to figure out what to do? Right. I go with unorm again. I know it's probably sRGB. for this particular case. RGB. Yeah, come on, work with me. Fine. I can't find it. What are you called? There we go. Alright, cool. So we'll just see if we need to do extra work. I have nothing against managed languages, but I have to use them for them at this point in my life. I see. Do you play video games? Yeah, of course. Okay, that died, and it was because of VMA. Okay, yeah, so there's definitely more work we have to do here to get this working. And what does the error say? Is this null or something? Read access violation on... Is it the this pointer? What is the issue? Yep. Yep. Okay, so everything seems fine. I don't know. It could be the this pointer. Is it? No, this pointer's good. What? Okay, so thrown at this address. The 2249. Yeah. So we're looking for. Oops! Please don't do that. So it's D00. So I'm looking for. Where are you hiding? Is it the function? I think that's just a function pointer, the 4B. Yeah, what is the... so we have a... Yeah, I think this just demonstrates that we need to do more work to actually deal with this type of format. Is C necessary for CUDA programming? I'm not familiar with CUDA, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Alright, so there's some work that we have to do to get it out of this universal base compression thing, I think. But after that, I think we're pretty solid. I think that's why we have this being undefined and things like that, right? We can load the image, but we need to do something with that image, I think. As far as I'm aware, anyway. Unless this is telling me that I need to do... No. Okay, so this just is fine. Yeah, okay, I will... I think I'm going to tackle that next. But actually... Right, I'm going to have to end my stream here, guys. It was a quick stream, I have to admit. I've just got to do other stuff today, so... and not annoy everyone. Because I'm streaming in the middle of the kitchen. So there's 2 goals here that I have to unfortunately abide by, which time constraints Sundays quite considerably. Alright, I will see you all soon. Have a good rest of the day, guys, whatever you end up doing. So we've got a nice solid amount of time in, which is great. So yeah, take care, and I'll see you all soon. Yeah, that's what dedication looks like. It is. Thank you very much. Alright, see you guys soon. Bye-bye, 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 bye.